Immigration hardliners have been claiming we're under invasion since the US has had immigration, but now they want the courts to embrace the same argument. So far, no US court in history has bought this idea. If the country were actually under invasion, the federal government would have enormous power to detain non-citizens and citizens without due process under the Constitution and the Alien Enemies Act. That's why some in Donald Trump's administration have been trying to turn this talking point into a recognized legal argument for years. In some ways, the legality of the administration's efforts depends on what the word invasion means. So on May 9th, Trump advisor Stephen Miller said the administration is actively looking at suspending habeas corpus in response to an invasion by undocumented immigrants. Habeas corpus is a vital part of due process. It gives prisoners, including non-citizens, the right to challenge their detention in court. The claim the US is under invasion by immigrants was also Trump's justification for his Day One executive order, protecting the American people against invasion. It ordered the Department of Homeland Security to expand deportations without hearings and limit humanitarian parole. And it was his reason for invoking the Alien Enemies Act, an 18th century wartime law, to deport about 140 Venezuelans that he says are members of the gang Tren de Aragua. They were sent to El Salvador with no due process. A lot of this is being challenged in court. 4 federal judges, including one Trump appointee, have said the situation Trump is describing fails to meet the definition of an invasion. Immigrants aren't waging war or operating under orders from a foreign government. But U.S. District Judge Stephanie Haynes, another Trump appointee, issued a preliminary ruling that would allow Trump to invoke the Alien Enemies Act. She didn't refer to immigrants as invaders. Instead, she proposed that the gang was the modern equivalent of a pirate or a robber. If the Supreme Court takes up the invasion question, a ruling like hers offers a blueprint for giving Trump what he wants. There's a lot more to my story, including how 2 top Trump advisors worked for years to legitimize the invasion theory. To read more about how their idea went from a far-right fringe talking point to a legal strategy, go to ProPublica.org or click the link in bio.